Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back at it again for a brand new review slash non-spoiler review slash only what I normally call it, which is a first reaction. A lot of people give me criticism about that. This is not technically a reaction. This is my thoughts and processes looking after it. And this episode name was Fast Lane. This is episode 12. And the thing I loved about this episode was a lot of tension, suspense, and more than anything, character development on the hand of Harrison Wells of Earth 2, on the hand of Iris and Wally's relationship, as well as the family dynamics between her and Joe. It was a lot that actually went down, as well as something that happens between Harrison Wells and Barry Allen, and it makes up so many great things about this episode. I think the only weakest thing about the episode was the villain. I think that I like as far as the villain is concerned, I'll go ahead and touch on that first. I like the look of him because he kind of had this like tarry, dingy kind of like grotesque look about him. He didn't look like, you know, how the character looked when before you see him, before he transformed, because that's what the beginning of this episode is. As well as I think the very end, where it actually showed him in his full form that you would see in the DC comics. I think that was actually pretty legit graphics in that concern. But in regard to him actually, you know, being something like a threat, I mean, I thought he was kind of like a filler villain, to be quite honest with you. He was kind of the weaker thing about this episode. But again, so let's talk about Wally and Iris. Like, there's a lot of different dimensions that are going on because of Wally's lifestyle, and because of the fact that Iris and Wally just lost their mother. And there's a lot of tension that's going on as far as the West household, as far as how Joe is supposed to, you know, raise this son. And it makes for really good development. It makes for a really good story arc, and I think they do a really good job with it. And it's really the heart and soul of this, specifically Iris. I didn't like some of the things that Iris did in this episode. I thought they were very stupid. But it shows her love and devotion for not just Wally, but even her dad. And I saw her do these different kind of things with Barry in the first season specifically. So I knew that she had those tendencies. I was like, when is she going to do something stupid? Sure enough, she does do that a couple of times in this episode. What else can I say without spoiling anything? As well as Harrison Wells and Barry Allen. So we all know that Wells has been threatened by Zoom to steal Barry's speed force from him. Like, steal the speed, bump Zoom speed up, and he gets his daughter back, supposedly, quote unquote. And I don't think he believes that, but he feels like he's backed in the corner that he has to steal Barry's speed. And like, that whole entire situation gets put to a test in a deeper way because he really connects with Barry, as well as I actually get to see Barry use some tool that they never actually showed him, as far as his brain capacity as being a speedster. And I love how they brought that into play in this episode. But like I said, the connection between him and Harrison Wells is a lot of good chemistry. There's always been chemistry between the actors, but it really shows, even in Earth 2 and Barry Allen, like it's really good. But it gets put to a huge test by the end of the third act, and I love the way they resolved it in a lot of different ways. And then I guess the last thing is Zoom. Like, what is his end game and how can they really stop him? I mean, given the fact of him having all the speed, all this control, I mean, he broke Barry, you know, in just one fell swoop, you know? And so how are they going to up Barry's powers? There's so many different unanswered questions. There's a lot to go with it. There's even the interaction between Wally West and Barry Allen that's really specific in the third act. You just gotta watch it. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, Fast Lane. I highly recommend you go check it out on CWTV.com tomorrow. And leave your comments in the comment section below if y'all actually liked the episode as well. And I'm about to go to do the spoiler review right now. Stay locked, JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, y'all.